I'm Gene Tamashiro. I'm a sovereign Hawaiian. I'm lawful in my own country. The United States, including her education, economic, healthcare, military, judicial system, etc., are indeed all under a mostly foreign-controlled corporate contract system. For proof of that, go to United States Code, Article 28, Section 3002, line 15. United States equals federal corporation.
Mr. Tamashiro, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Why are you interrupting me?
Is
then?
there going to be a nexus to anything on the agenda?
Absolutely, because I'm talking about lawful title, lawful jurisdiction, and the
Thank you
law
for the
that you swore an oath to. Okay, thank you. This treasonous condition is the unconstitutional root cause and false presumption that has institutionalized so much of the needless and unlawful suffering in Hawaii, America, and the world. For 127 years, Hawaii has been and is still held hostage under the unlawful occupation of the United States. The proof of that claim is the fact that in all these years, to this very moment, nobody has produced any public record evidence to the contrary. There are things in life that we don't want to confront, but we must. We all have made mistakes, but we must do our level best to correct our mistakes. Keokua God requires us all to live with dignity, honor, and aloha truth under His law as codified. Ko Hawaii Pai Aina Hawaiian Kingdom Declaration of Rights, 1839, Kauikeau Oli, Kamehameha III. In the United States, that same divine covenant is expressed in the Declaration of Independence, 1776. We hold these truths to be self-evident. It means we are all protected and obligated to live under and defend one and the same universal law. Dear friends, unity in the law equals unity in the people. Our true status as an occupied country is irrefutable. Reality compels everyone, true Kanakas, real men and women of all colors, to help correct the Heva. Hawaiian Kingdom General Assembly, Kahai Kupuna Council, and Konohiki Royal heirs that are present today have come together now to establish the Hawaiian Kingdom Governance Authority. All are invited to reclaim and exercise our right and our responsibility to be lawful in our own country. Are you ready to be lawful? Some of us are. Ua mau ke ea okaaina I kapono, to be forever free in the land of righteousness. God bless everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Tamashiro.
My name is Albert Kahopi, born and raised in Kohala, as Mr. Richard knows, Kahua Ranch. We go back a long ways, probably about 7 generations off of the ranch. And while I was young, I used to go Lana'aina, go check the water, Makai, Mauka. This portion land that we're talking about right now, I didn't know till now that my great-great-great-grandmother was the owner of this land. And this map that I have goes back to 1928. Now I'm here to stand up for my rights and my families, that nobody has the right to claim this land. I also confronted Greg Moore, Tony Whittington, and told them if they had a title higher than my title. I never received anything up until today. So I'm asking, before anyone can make a decision on this land or any of all of the lands, they need to go back and research, because there's a lien on this land. So when there's a lien on this land, people cannot sell the land because they leased the land. So that's why I question Greg Moore, Tony Whittington, if they had a higher title than what I have. Nothing has been served to me since now. I didn't know about this till yesterday, that we found out about this meeting that we're going to come forward to you folks. So now we are here to let you folks know that nobody has a higher title than what we have. If you do, fine. Let's go. Let's go to court and find out. Because this is what it's all about. We need to stop all this havoc that is going on right now. Okay? So that land, Waika, is my great-great-great-grandmother, Lahi Lahi. And I know I got some more of my family that is here. They will explain more to this. But thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Kaho'opi'i.
My name is Matthew Kaho'opi'i, born and raised in Kohala, also with Timmy Richards, Kaho'a Range. Thank you, council members, for having this opportunity today. I live in Kaneohe, and I did my research very well because the state and county had recognized the Moko'ahawa as a genealogy in 1999. When sovereignty movement was moving forward, we just went with genealogy. No paperwork, no land court award, no royal patent. Well, I moved to Kaneohe, then I studied this for about 20 years. Now what I'm holding in my hand is superior title. Is there a superior court in Hawaii? To my lineal descendants of the heirs and the genealogy. And if you look at it, Human Rights Offer Desires documents came out. That was very powerful to all the judges, the state. And if you look at the Great Mahele came out, and I did my research very well to my genealogy, to Kinke Kauliki, yeah, Kekuai Puivanui, also son of Kamehameha Nui Ailoa, Kahele Mai Luna, down to Ebna Paki, yeah, married to Kunia. Yeah, so my mother is related to Lahi Lahi, all the way up. Kamehameha Nui Ailoa, his brother, is Kanehekili. That's my father's middle name. Did not know my mother and father were married. That gave us the Naupio blood. To collect and do a nationality to the ili of this land, to the Aupo, or if he did it very well, to his estate of his kingdom. As I stand before you, I oppose the bill, 141, of the development down at Kwaihai 1, Kwaihai 2. Also, what I'm holding right here is Kioniana, John Young, certified documents to Queen Emma of my dad's genealogy tying to. Yeah? To John Young. So now, today, we can make a claim, and with these documents that I have right here, we're not against the state. We're not against the government. We thank you very much for all what you do in all these years that we don't have to live in grass shacks and walk on the feet. But we willing to work with you, even develop, even farming, open up these lands, open up the Hawaii, open up the water so the life can prosper in this land. But thank you very much for your time. God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Kaho'opi'i. Mr. Ha'a.
Do I have to press this?
Yes, you do in order to turn on your mic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good morning. Excuse me. My name is Chad Ha'a. I am the great-great-great-grandson of Kamehameha III, Kawikiaole. Today, I'm here just to make myself present and to oppose this 141. God bless you, folks. I believe my cousins have said enough here. Thank you, folks, for your time. Aloha.
Thank you, Mr. Ha'a, for your testimony.
And today, I ask Father to forgive you all because you know what you're doing, and I don't think I can forgive you. I truly hope that you will wake up in this year 2020 and do what is best for the people, not the corporation. Thank you.
applicant Kohala Shoreline LLC, area 37.88 acres. The Leeward Planning Commission forwards its favorable recommendation for this change of zone, which would allow the applicant to subdivide the property into 6 lots to develop a residential subdivision. The property is located 3 miles north of Kawaihai Harbor on the Makai side of Okoni Pule Highway, introduced by Ms. Kirkowitz by request, and Communication 764.1 from Planning Director Michael Yee, dated February 12, 2020, transmitting the draft transcript from the Leeward Planning Commission's January 16, 2020 meeting.
My name is Greg Morris. I'm a land use consultant representing the owner, Dr. Meervold, and his wife. This project has a long history. I think Tony alluded to part of it. The property was rezoned from Ag 5 to RS 15 a number of years ago by a previous owner. That was in 1997. My client acquired the property after the previous owner passed away, and is not a developer, and so he sat on the property for over 20 years. Would like to now develop it, and felt that the current zoning, the RS-15 zoning, which would allow up to 110 lots, was inappropriate. After discussions with many people in the community, there have been 2 EAs done on the property, and in response to those, the owner has come up with a plan that the people felt was a lot more palatable. I think you've probably seen it. This is a map showing the subject property. Originally, there was 50 lots under a previous SMA that would have required a massive, basically just grading the entire site, and it would have been very destructive to a number of things. This plan here proposes to go back to the original 5-acre zoning that the county had asked for back in a rezoning in 2007. And by doing this, one of the things that became important, obviously, was the trail, which is depicted in orange across the property here, the Aloloa, which became the Jeep Trail. And we have received numerous testimonies from agencies and individuals about the significance of the trail. The owner has made a determination that they would not breach the trail at all and would not develop anything Makai of the trail. And in addition to that, there's a 150-foot setback from the highway, and then a stipulation that nothing would be built higher than 25 feet to minimize the impact, any visual impact. We have been working with the community for a number of years, been meeting with the community on access groups, Tony and her group, for probably every first Monday of the month for the last 2 years. We have tried to address everything that was submitted in the previous EA, and have,
Excuse me, decorum. Excuse me.
We just
Mr.
challenged.
Point of
Tamashiro.
order. I would take a.
Okay, we are in recess.
Don't run. Don't run. This is for the public record. Keep rolling. We just challenged title and jurisdiction.
Mr. Tamashiro,
Hello,
we are
don't
in
cut me
recess.
off because you're out of line. Ashley, you don't have title and you don't have jurisdiction. You're required by your oath to ask me, Gene, bring the proof. Bring the proof. You bring the proof. Well, if you're not going to be lawful and you think I'm supposed to sit here and allow you people to operate in the color of law, did you hear me? All right, then take the right action, please. I'm telling you, you do not have jurisdiction, and you got the last chance. This is the final notice. This is how wars happen, because people remove. You have committed war crimes. I'm telling you, if you don't address the challenge, I'm challenging you in the public record. We put out enough notices. I'm done notifying all of you.
Okay, good enough.
Okay? You got that, David? Come in honor, bro. Last chance. Hey, I'm obligated to tell the truth, just like you. I'm sitting down. I'm sitting down. We're not going away. We are not going away because God is our covenant.
You gonna talk to me like that?
You're gonna treat me like that.
Like what?
Like I have no right to full disclosure and
Everybody
substantive
has
due
right. I
process.
have right as a Hawaiian, and I know what you're talking about.
Well then speak up!
Speak up.
Speak up for the public record!
In writing.
All you guys keep on sitting down and pretending this is lawful, and
you're
it's
gonna
not.
Get what out of
Okay,
this?
what?
Are
In
you
writing
gonna
with
get
your
what out of this?
autograph.
All right, I'm done. Thank you.
If you take
Sorry.
the route, I'm taking the other route. I'm sorry.
The other
You
route?
want to be unlawful? More. Up
What's
to you.
that?
In writing.
You don't talk.
Put it in writing. Okay, I'm outside.
Don't tell me.
Hey,
what
Ah!
I'm a Hawaiian.
Do.
You don't talk to me.
Do not tell me what I can and cannot do.
We have to respect.
I know.
As heirs, please
I know.
As a Minister of Interior of the Hawaiian Kingdom of the Mo'o, the genealogy that we have, please forgive me.
Thank you.
And I'm here to stand on the superior faith. We are landowners.
I want to talk to you about that because I respect you for that. I don't respect that.
And
That
that's
is
why I'm
not
here.
aloha. And don't dare do that to a fellow Hawaiian who's trying to do the right thing. Okay? I can do that. Yeah? I can do that. That's easy to do.
You're not in
Right?
honor.
It's hard to do something for your people the right way. Okay? I have no respect for that. Thank you. Yes. That's aloha, I tell you. You know, I'm sorry about that. That is not pono. That is not aloha. That is not Hawaiian. It's not Hawaiian. That is not aloha.
Well, then why don't you say something?
Six come out of 6 corners. Now, the judge don't have basically the jurisdiction. He cannot go both parties. That's why we here. We can take it to court. And that's where you do your argument. This is not an argument.
Thank you, sir. This is not the room that this is for. I'm sorry, this is not the place to air certain grievances.
Where is God
Decisions
not,
being
brother?
made.
Where is he not?
So we have to do what we have to do here, and we have to do it together as a group. If we can't, the circuit people are gonna have to leave, and that's the bottom
No problem. Let's
line.
convene a real.
I don't wanna
let's
ask
convene
anybody,
something.
hold on,
There's somebody
everybody
motion
should have
to
an
convene
equal
something.
chance to participate, and you're being unequal. So that's
Oh
it.
no,
It's
I'm
done.
standing up for
It's
God's love.
done.
Nobody else going to do it. You know what? You
You're
guys
gonna
should
be
put up a
standing up
motion.
for it outside of this room
No
pretty
problem.
soon.
Hey, you want to grab me?
I'm not gonna grab you.
All
You're
right.
not
Well,
gonna
then what
touch
I'm
me. You're not
saying
gonna
is,
touch me either.
if we bring up
We're
something,
done though. If you're gonna continue to do this, we're done.
all I'm asking is this, and I'm calm. If you guys want, because you've been serving on this, why don't you motion to investigate this in the public record?
Why don't you do that? Why
I'm
don't
not
you
in your
go file a
position.
frickin'
I don't
lawsuit
get paid.
and do
I don't
that?
get paid to
Well,
do this.
hell, then why? You can
So
just
you
come
swore
and
an oath
talk.
to the U.S. Constitution, did you not?
That's your
No,
right.
did you not?
Miley.
Yes, you
Miley.
did, Miley.
Not what, you know what, Miley?
It is working, Miley.
Don't,
I
yeah.
don't
You
believe
know.
one word you say. I am
It's on the
Hawaiian
public record.
myself,
Okay,
that's Hawaiian.
okay. Yeah.
Don't lower yourself.
Yeah.
Because what he
That's
does is
disrespect.
ruins it for
Why don't you,
everybody else.
Rebecca, you know what's going on. Everybody else is standing down on the law.
He's ruining it for all the
Somebody just say, okay, Gene, shut up already. We'll have a hearing in the public record.
Where's all this?
It's been proven in the Hague, Netherlands, in
No,
international.
right on this soil.
That's not that's not my jurisdiction.
Well, you swore an oath. Honor your oath. Honor your oath. It's the same law. Yes. You guys are like children. And it's going to harm everybody.
You know,
Everybody.
Historic site and should be preserved, and so it will be. We will be working with Na'alahele and Alakahakai to establish the federal trail through the property so that it will run uninterrupted from Kohala Kai next door to the state land to the north. By changing the density of this, the number of archaeological features that would have been previously were going to be data recovered has now been eliminated or lowered by 11. So now there's only 7 sites that would have data recovery. As part of the conditions that are proposed, there will be a data recovery plan, a preservation plan, burial treatment plans, all approved by State Historic Preservation Division prior to any land disruption. I've read the background report and recommendation forwarded by the Planning Department and the Planning Commission. We have support the conditions as stated, although I would like to amend two of the conditions to clarify some things, if I may, Madam Chair.
Please go ahead. Could you identify the letter?
Yes, condition J currently says all proposed structures shall be sited 100 feet from the shoreline Mauka of the Alaloa Jeep Road. I would like to add two words. After the word shall be sited, say a minimum of 100 feet, because many of these sites are far more than 100 feet from the shoreline. Okay. And then in condition K, it says all proposed structures shall have a maximum height of 25 feet. I just wanted to add in what had been in the transmittal from the Planning Department, which says, as measured according to Chapter 25 of the Hawaii County Code. The Planning Department has a method in which they determine the heights of structures, and I just wanted to clarify that. I would like to take a moment to speak to the public testifiers. I certainly don't question the sincerity or the legitimacy of some of the concerns about ownership. I would just simply point out that this property is land courted. We believe we have clear title. We have title insurance to it, and believes very strongly that the proper venue to determine ownership is not the Planning Commission or the County Council. And I'm sorry that issue has come to you today, because you cannot provide the relief that these testifiers are requesting. I think what is before you today is simply a question of what is the most appropriate use of this property. Should it be 15,000 square foot lots as it is currently zoned, or is it 5 acre lots that we're proposing and has been endorsed by the Planning Department and the Leeward Planning Commission? I have nothing else and prepared to answer any questions that you folks may have. I know it's a rather long 500-page application that we prepared, but
You know, when things happen to a land that the piece of property that people are claiming that may have some cloud to it, regardless if you say you had clear title. Because I did have a friend who ended up going to Maui and fighting for their property when the people who had it said, well, we got clear title and it was documented because your tutu man put the X and somebody witnessed. Well, she showed proof that her tutu man could write his signature and knew how to read and write, and he was a smart tutu man. So the court awarded her the property. However, the people who had it went for adverse possession and got it back. And she just didn't have enough money as a Hawaiian to fight more for fight for that more, and so and kind of let it go. So I know and I feel for the Kaho'opi'i, is that the Kaho'opi'i Ohana, and what they've stated. So know that we've heard you, or I've heard you, and there's other ways that we could probably be resourceful to you in our personal lives. But as far as what's coming before us is for a down zoning that I think would also be in your best interest should you move forward and going to court for some type of, regarding the land title, that it's not 100 homes there or whatever, but it's down zoning. So what we're here today is to look at the zoning, which I feel, had enough testimony from that community to also support it and put it into I think it was Ag 5. So that is what I'm supporting, but I just want to acknowledge my heartfelt, I would like even to say condolences on your journey to make what you feel your family needs to be pono. And I apologize, for what had happened here that may have put a damper on the importance of what your testimony stood up for. So I apologize for the other testifiers who kind of put a little damper on that, and that should not have happened.
I grew up with Kaho'opi'is. Your grandfather, we all grew up together, so haven't seen you in a long time, Matthew. Good to see you, and Junior. We'll talk story outside. What is before us is the zoning, and we'll be talking a story about that. And I actually give credit, Greg, for bringing this forth. and the working on trying to strike the balance for the property going forward.
I personally want to apologize for the display that we all experienced and the hurtful things that have been said. But what I wanted to say was to the Kaho'opi Ohana is that your issue is a real one. Title to our lands have been neglected. Can I say neglected from day one, when everything that we understand as, take it culturally, as our land is our parents, no? And in our society today, it's totally different. So while we sit and be comfortable, our lands were being sold or taken, and laws had to be changed. The adverse possession law was pretty much the worst thing to impact our natives. Until today, quiet title actions are still being filed on this island. And that's because we still have families here that have managed throughout society and the economic disasters that we have experienced as Hawaiians to try to hold on to something that we that was ours in a world that was so confusing to everyone. And I talk from experience of my family losing a lot of land that way. So while I sit here in this role, I see my role as trying to help you folks, and I've offered my help to you, not on this body, but as my experience in land issues in my prior life as a paralegal. And I reach out to you folks to come and I want to help you. So that aside, what I'm doing today is supporting a down zone of land that would have been so devastating to the Kohala coast. And we now have to deal with 6 lots or 115 lot subdivision. You do the math, you know. I'd rather see 6 lots than 115 high-end lots that will just clutter our shoreline. So I want to apologize for being taken to a place that I have tried very hard not to go to. But I'm sorry, today was the straw that broke my back. When you mix Hawaiian issues and Hawaiian culture with other political issues, whether it's Hawaiian or governmental, no. I see your issue as separate. Gene Tamashiro's issue is a totally different issue, no? But it was blended with your issue, and I take offense to that today. And I think that's what broke, that's what did it for me. So I really want to express how sorry I am for not practicing what I preach or try to uphold every time, but no. And to everybody else. So we all do what we can. And please, please reach out to me, okay? Thank you. Mahalo. I yield.
Right now you have the table, you have history and you have background of the Aina, and then you have the will to and a want to develop. So the two of you together would be.
I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
Is that something that we can make a condition for? that the applicant needs to work with the community.
You know, I've provided a lot of latitude. We typically don't have constituents come and be part of this discussion. I'm open to it, and I think that the applicant has a very strong track record in engaging community very thoughtfully, very consistently, and so I'm comfortable taking Mr. Moore's word, and we also have Dr. Reckman here, you know, their word in working with the family that has ties to this place. I don't think we need to create a condition. I think if there's a commitment by the applicant to work in partnership with the family, I'm good with that.
Thank you.
Mahalo. Thank you.
Mr. Richards, go ahead.
I know the family. I'll work with you guys.
Dr. Reckman, did you want to offer anything up?
No, we have.
I'm going to need you to speak into the mic. Sorry, thank you.
Turn it.
My name is Bob Rechtman with ASM Affiliates. We have preservation planning, burial treatment planning to complete on this project. So we will definitely be working with this family and others that come forward to complete those aspects of the project.
You saw today that's not going to go away, and it needs to start happening more and more and more. I know you have reached out. I know there's been a willingness to work with, but today there is more of a verbal track record of what was talked about and what needs to happen going forward to make everybody happy.
Sure, and like Member David said, we'll work with the families that come forward in this way. I can't guarantee that we can address issues of the legitimacy of the state of Hawaii and the legitimacy of the ownership of Hawaii as a United States place. That I can't guarantee that we will address. But we can address the concerns of the families relative to the resources and the property.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to clarify and confirm that there's no land altercation until the burial treatment plan and the preservation plan have been accepted. Is
That's
that correct? Okay.
No,
I just want to make
no,
sure
no.
everyone's clear on the process. So
No land alteration at all until all of those things are done.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any other questions or comments from my colleagues? Okay. Seeing none, and we have 9 members present, all in favor of moving Bill 141 forward to the council with a positive recommendation, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries with 9 ayes. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.